All right, let's get right into it. What if I told you that the life you think you're living, well, it might not be entirely your own? That so many of your decisions, your beliefs, heck, even what you want out of life, have been quietly molded by everyone but you. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most common, most invisible ways we give away our power: the constant, nagging compulsion to explain ourselves.
So first up, we've got to look at where this all comes from. Because, this isn't just about being polite. It goes way deeper than that. It's about this hidden need for approval, for validation, that's running the show just beneath the surface.
So let me just ask you straight up, how much of who you are day to day is the real you, and how much of it is a performance for an audience?
That performance, that mask, it actually has a name. Psychologists call it the persona. It's the version of you that's been edited and polished to be acceptable, to be liked, to just fit in. And for so many of us, that persona's default setting is to constantly justify its own existence.
And here's the real kicker. This need to over-explain, it's not just some quirky habit. It's a symptom. It's a flashing red light pointing to a much deeper psychological wound. You're not just trying to clarify your actions. You're fundamentally asking other people for permission to just be.
So what's the actual price you pay for constantly asking for that permission? Let's break down the consequences, because they hit you on two fronts: inside your own head and in how you're perceived out in the real world. And what's so fascinating is how this splits into two huge costs. On one hand, you've got the psychological cost, which the great Carl Jung called self-abandonment. Think about that. Every single time you water down your truth to make it easier for someone else to swallow, you're abandoning yourself, just a little bit. Then, on the other hand, you've got the strategic cost. Machiavelli saw this as a rookie mistake. The second you start over-explaining, you're basically inviting the other person to be your judge, and you just hand your power right over to them.
Now, before we move on, I want you to just sit with this for a second. Read it. Let it sink in. This isn't about being weak or passive. It's about reclaiming your space. Because this idea right here, it's the foundation for everything we're about to build. Silence is your power.
Okay, we've established that silence is power. So, how do you actually learn to use it? Well, now we're going to build your arsenal. We're going to walk through 3 ruthless, and I mean ruthless, but absolutely essential truths that will help you take back your authority.
Let's kick things off with truth number 1. Now, this one might feel a little sneaky at first, but trust me, it's absolutely crucial for taking back control. It's a concept called calculated opacity. Now, this is not about being a liar or being deceptive. It's about being strategic. It's the art of knowing what to share and, more importantly, what to hold back. It's understanding that you don't owe everyone a full report.
Machiavelli just nails it with this quote. He knew you should never be a completely open book. When you leave a little curiosity gap, you let other people fill in the blanks, and often they fill them in your favor. I mean, think about it. Your information, your thoughts, your plans, that's currency. You've got to stop giving it away for free.
All right, on to truth number 2. This one is all about the incredible power of restraint and how it can totally flip the script in any situation.
Seriously, this is a game changer. Real power doesn't start with what you say or do. It starts with what you don't do. When you refuse to react to a dig, or a provocation, or a baited question, you're not just avoiding a fight, you're shattering the entire frame that person was trying to trap you in.
So here's the weapon your silence creates: uncertainty. For the other person, that feeling is mentally exhausting. They send you that passive-aggressive text, fully expecting you to bite, and when they get nothing, crickets, they start to spiral. They second-guess, and pretty soon, they overplay their hand and show you exactly what they were really up to. You're not avoiding the game, you're winning by refusing to play by their rules. And that brings us to our third and final ruthless truth. This one is all about protecting your most valuable and most limited resource: your own psychic energy. I want you to think of your mind, your attention, like a battery. It's got a finite charge. Every time you have a knee-jerk emotional reaction to a critic or someone trying to manipulate you, you're draining that battery. You're wasting precious energy on them, leaving less for the things and the people that actually matter.
Jung's wisdom here is just so profound. The more you fight back and resist, the more you're actually tying yourself to the very people and things that are dragging you down. By choosing to be consciously unavailable, by choosing silence, you stop being an emotional vending machine for others, where they can just push a button and get a reaction out of you whenever they want.
Okay, So this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually stop that powerful in-the-moment urge to justify and react? Well, let's get super practical with a simple, science-backed technique you can use today. I want you to burn this number into your brain, 90. Neuroscientists have found that the actual chemical lifespan of an emotion in your body before your thoughts start feeding it is only about 90 seconds. That's it. 90 seconds. That's your window of opportunity. So here's exactly how it works. Let's imagine your boss calls you out for something unfairly in a meeting. You feel that hot flush of anger and shame, right? That's the impulse. Instead of just blurting out a defense, here's what you do. Step 1. Just acknowledge it. Say to yourself, wow, I feel a massive urge to defend myself right now. No judgment. Step 2. For 90 seconds, just observe the physical feeling. Where is it? Is your chest tight? Is your stomach in a knot? Just watch it like a scientist without telling yourself a story about it. Step 3. I promise you, you will physically feel that chemical wave crest and then start to fade. And step 4. Now you can respond, but you're acting with intention, from a cool-headed place, not from a raw, hijacked impulse. You're in charge again.
So let's talk about what happens next. Because when you really start to do this, when you stop explaining yourself, everything changes. But I have to be honest, this new freedom, it comes with a price. Or at least what feels like a price at first.
And this, right here, is maybe the most important thing to understand. Some people in your life are going to drift away. They'll fall off, not because you've become a jerk, but because you are no longer useful for their patterns of manipulation. You have to see this for what it is. It is a liberation. It is not a punishment. You're not losing people, you're shedding baggage.
This is your homework. This is your challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice this. Find one moment, just one, where you would normally jump in and justify yourself, and instead, choose silence. Choose yourself. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but this word on the screen is your goal. It's about taking back the wheel.
And that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? I want to leave you with this one final question, because it's what this entire journey is about. Who will you become? What will you be capable of when you finally stop asking other people for permission to be you? Just think about that.